Welcome to our 20-minute yoga practice. All you'll need today is a block, mat, and if you feel like it, a strap to bring your feet closer to you. And as you probably know, there are lots of ways to bring the floor closer to you. I just went through my house and tried to find things. So instead of a mat, use a bowl. Instead of a mat, use a pillow. All that you're trying to do when you use a block is to just bring the floor closer to your hands. So it doesn't need to be a perfect yoga thing. It doesn't matter. And then the reason that I have a strap, and I'm just looking at what's next to me. Here's an extension cord. I mean, we all have things around in our house that if you can't reach your foot, you could use a strap or a tie or a cord, whatever you have in your house, to again help make that extension of your hand reaching your foot, or whatever it is that you want to make easier to make a connection. So here's something that might be helpful here, where you'd have a strap or a cord or a tie, whatever. Anyway, just make your life simple. It doesn't need to be complicated. You don't have to buy anything. Then the other thing I wanted to remind everybody is it's totally not practical to do yoga in somebody else's body. So just make sure that when you're moving through any practice, in any yoga classes, that stay connected to your own practice, stay connected to your own body, because looking up and around the room and seeing how they do it, or she does it, or he does it, doesn't really make any practical sense. The whole joy of yoga is being able to go inward, take your time, listen to your breath, and just be with yourself. So let's get into it. We're just going to do 20 minutes, and I'm going to turn my watch on so that I remember. And let's start by connecting with our breath. We're going to lower ourselves down to the floor. Lay down on your back. Settle the full weight of your body into the floor. Let your hips settle into the floor. Let your shoulders settle into the floor. And let the back of your head settle into the floor. Then let's turn our palms open towards the ceiling and notice the full length of your arm settling down with gravity into the ground beneath you. Then start to notice your breath. Notice as you inhale, you can feel your torso expand. And as you exhale, you can sense your torso fall back down to the ground with gravity. Inhaling is the expansion through your ribs, through your chest, maybe even through your belly. And then as you exhale, you can sense that belly button falling back down towards the floor, softening towards the earth. So just stay here, sense that movement. Good, and remind yourself that the purpose that we're here and the reason for yoga in general is just being able to be more comfortable in our body, right? Like that's what the yogis were doing, is they were just trying to find a way to be comfortable in their body so they could sit for a long time and meditate. So we're just reworking patterns in our bodies so that we can sit and rest and listen to our bodies. So do that now. Watch your breath. See your belly rise and fall. Pay attention to the patterns of your movement. Pay attention to the things that you want to change, and be aware of what movements that we do just out of instinct and what movements that we do with attention and awareness. All right, so let's take your feet as wide as you can on your mat. Make sure there isn't anything in your way. And you're just going to gently tick-tock your knees from side to side. Again, paying attention to your belly button and your ribs, noticing how they expand with the inhale and how they sink or settle with the exhale. Good, just take one or two more rocks from side to side. Good, and then we'll bring ourselves back to the middle, pointing your knees towards the ceiling. And then let's bring that left knee into your chest and give it a nice, gentle hug. Good. And then let it go back to the mat. And then we'll take that right knee into our chest, give it a hug, and then send it back to the mat. And now we're going to do that movement with our breath. So as I bring my knee into my chest, I'm going to exhale like my thigh is pushing the air out of my belly. And then as my knee moves away, I'm inhaling. So I'm filling up. I'm filling up my torso. And my thigh on my right side, now it's going to exhale and help let that air out of my body, a complete exhale. And then inhale, fill up again. So again, pay attention to the exhale as your thigh moves in towards your belly. And inhale the big balloons in your lungs as your feet return to the floor. Keep up that pace. Stay if it feels better to exhale longer and more completely, or move a little bit faster if you're feeling like you want to get some sort of stimulation or sensation that you're getting into this. I know that instinct sometimes exists in us. But then with time, slow down and connect again with your breath. Again, that exhale when your thigh moves in, inhale as it moves away. Exhale, inhale. Good. All right, let's place the soles of our feet together and let our knees go nice and wide. So we'll take a moment here to create some length between the ridges of your hips that are settling into the floor beneath you, and that length between the ridge of your hips and the tips of your knees. So imagine the weight of gravity is settling down onto your thighs and helping your knees get closer to the floor. So we're just having a sort of passive stretch. Again, this is one of those moments, it doesn't matter what my knees look like. What matters is how you feel. So check in with your body. If you think it would feel better to shove a cushion under your knees to sense the floor beneath you, or just do it. Use a block. Use the bowls that I brought upstairs. Try whatever to help you feel that connection of the weight of your knees moving towards the floor. Excellent. Now draw those knees back in towards the midline, and we're going to take this left foot, cross it over your right thigh. Take a moment here to gently give a little pressure on this left thigh. Push that knee away. Good. And again, remember your breathing, remember your breath, and let your belly button drop down as you exhale. And then I want a nice big inhale. Fill your torso, fill your lungs like balloons. And then here's that exhale. Draw that right thigh towards your chest. Good. I want us to have active feet. So pull your toes towards your shins on both legs. Let your hips settle down towards the floor. Let your heart center open. I'm holding the back side of my legs. If you want to hold your knee, if that's more comfortable for you, that's okay too. This might be another time that you use your strap. If you need a little help in reaching that thigh, that's okay. And again, stay connected with your breath. And then slowly, again, exhale as you draw the knee towards your chest. And inhale as your knee draws away. Exhale as you draw your thigh towards your chest. And inhale as your leg draws away. Good. Let's lower that right foot down. We'll do the same thing with the other side. So the right foot's going to cross over the left knee. Again, if you need a strap, grab it. Draw that left leg towards you. I'm a lot more tight on my left side and even through my right hip. So what we're going to pay attention to again is that big deep inhale. Fill your balloon lungs. And then exhale, draw that thigh a little bit closer towards your chest. Inhale, let that thigh move away. And exhale, draw your knee in towards your chest. Great. Continue that pace. Continue to move. Stay connected even through your feet. Flex your feet. Let your legs feel active. Stay connected to your belly. Be aware of what feels like a regular pattern, like, oh, I've done this before. I know how this is supposed to feel. Pretend you've never done it before. Pretend you don't know what this feels like and go inward and pay attention. But stay connected to your breath. Good. All right. So we're going to lower our feet back down towards the floor, and we're going to flip ourselves over onto all fours. So connect your hands with the floor. Take this time to really know what the floor feels like on your palms. I remember for years I used to do yoga with floppy hands. It was such a missed opportunity to keep my arms active, keep my chest active, feel the back sides of my body by pushing my palms through the floor. What a great thing to learn that I can feel my body a little bit more strongly just by turning on the muscles in my hands and feeling the ground beneath me. Good, so let's go ahead and draw our belly button towards our spine. So what we're in the exhale phase right now, and we're gonna shift our weight back to bring our ribs towards our thighs. Good, reach it back. So this is child's pose. Everybody's child's pose is gonna look different. You do not win a prize for the best child's pose. Inhale, come on forward. Push your palms through the floor. And we're gonna, again, pull that belly button towards you as you exhale and shift back. Maybe you'll notice as you drew your belly button forward, your tailbone extended back and down behind you. Inhale, here come your balloons. Fill your balloons up through your lungs and shift forward. Good, all right, we're gonna switch things up. We're gonna tuck our toes under and exhale. This time, we'll head to down dog. So pay attention again. Let's inhale, fill your lungs, and exhale, help yourself lift your hips up to down dog. Good. So the idea here is the work in your core is helping you to move. So pay attention to the activation of the strength in your core. Inhale, float forward, slowly lower your knees down, and oops, don't touch your knees down. This is a strength position. Hold here, breathe here. Keep long, full, strong breaths. Draw your belly button towards your spine, and then with care, lower down. Feels so good. Good. Inhale fully. Exhale. Pull that belly button towards your spine. Find child's pose. Reach that tailbone away. Good. Inhale, float forward. Good. Tucking your toes under, we're going to exhale. Pull your belly button towards your spine and find your way to down dog. Awesome. Reach your heels through the floor. Make yourself as long as you can. Feel down dog for the first time in your life. Notice how your palms push through the floor. Feel where your ribs are in space. Pull your ribs into the toilet roll that you're trying to stay in. Keep yourself from dropping those ribs down to the floor and sticking your butt high in the air. Instead, pull those ribs in, create a long spine to reach your tailbone towards the corner of the ceiling and the wall behind you. Good. Let's inhale. Again, we're going to do that strength position again where we're going to lower down, let your knees hover. I'm not putting my knees down. There's space here. I'm turning on the strength in my core. Good. Hold here. Breathe here. Notice all the muscles that are working. And then with care, lower down. Nicely done. All right, we're going to take this right foot forward. Again, here would be where you'd use your bowls if you want them, or your blocks. And let's let our hips sink down. Take a moment here. Sense yourself opening up the front of the left hip. Good. Sink down. And always remember, take care of your knees by not letting this knee go over your toes. You want to make sure that your knees are over your ankle. Good. And sink down. Awesome. Good. Let's tuck our toes under. Shift ourselves back. Here's a nice hamstring stretch. Belly pulls towards your spine. Good. Keep this leg straight. This might be really challenging if your hamstrings are super tight. You might want the highest setting on your blocks you can find. Good. And then we're going to inhale, shift forward, but only just to bend your knee. Good. As you bend your knee, rest your ribs on your thigh, on this right thigh. Good. So now I'm going to take this block, place it under my left hand. Good. Hold here. Pull your belly button up. And now I'm going to bring my left ribs towards my right thigh for a torso twist. Awesome. Good. Exhale. Lower that hand back down. Lower the left knee back down. And again, however you get it there, it just doesn't matter. It doesn't need to be pretty. You don't need to be videotaped here today. So just get your leg back. Exhale, shift back. Let's rest. Make space for your ribs to lower towards your thighs. Tailbone reaches out behind you. Extend your fingertips as far away from you as you can. Inhale, come on forward. Good. Tuck your toes under. Exhale, shift back. Down dog. Good. Inhale, forward, float forward. Big balloon lungs. Good, and here's the tricky part. Somehow get this left leg forward. Sink your hips down. We're checking, making sure this left knee is not going over your left toes. Inhale, exhale, good. Tuck your toes under, shift back. Here comes your nice stretch through your hamstrings, the back sides of your legs. Good. Drive that right heel out behind you. Breathe. Nice. Then we're going to let this knee come forward. Take the block to the right hand. Good. And then lift that left hand up. Great big twist. Right ribs are moving towards the left thigh. Driving your heel out behind you, pulling your belly button towards your spine as you exhale and support the strength of this pose with the strength in your core. Nice, and lower your left hand down. Lower your right knee down. Good, and again, slide that foot back to meet the right foot. Exhale, shift back, child's pose, and breathe. Let's take a moment here to connect again with our breath. Inhaling and exhaling completely. Good, and let's even take a moment here to walk our hands all the way over towards the left side. Good, and then walk your hands all the way over to the right side. Good, awesome. Side body stretch. And then back to the middle. Good. Let's inhale again to all fours. Breathe, inhale, exhale. And then again, let's tuck those toes under. Shift back to your down dog. Make your body as long as you can as you push through your palms, push your heels through the floor, and start to walk yourself back. Inhale to halfway up. Exhale to down. Inhale all the way up to stand. Fingertips are going to reach towards the ceiling. And then exhale your hands down. Good. Taking some time to notice the distance between the bottoms of your ears and the tops of your shoulders. So wriggle your ribs in line with your torso. So I have a tendency to let my ribs flare out. I'm going to pull my ribs in line with my hips. So again, like I'm fitting in a toilet roll. Good, nice, active core. Exhaling and pulling my belly button towards my spine. And then soften your belly. Relax. Good. So we're looking for a nice, tall, standing pose, Tadasana. And really connect with, now I was talking about our palms pushing through the floor. Now I want you to connect with your feet. Notice all 10 toes push through the floor. And again, notice your breath. Notice your torso. See if as you reach the crown of your head towards the ceiling, you can also at the same time extend your feet through the floor. Be aware if you're locking your knees out, let there be a gentle bend in your knees so that you also sense yourself feeling ready for action, ready to move. So there's a little bit of a springiness or ability in your knees. That's going to turn on your legs. That's going to turn on the strength in your core. That's going to also help you lengthen the back of your neck. That's going to also help you to drop that tailbone down. Good. And stay here and tune into your breath. As you inhale, fill your lungs And as you exhale, help yourself exhale completely, drawing your belly softly towards your spine. With each inhale and exhale, imagine that there's a party in the apartment below you, or in the basement below you, or whatever is below you. And imagine that there's a cyclone of energy twisting below you from that party below you, and it's going all the way up your body, all the way towards the ceiling. Sense yourself being lifted through that cyclone of energy and the events beneath you. And breathe. And then as you feel ready, draw your palms to your heart center. Bring your chin to your chest. And acknowledge the time that you took today to take care of yourself. And acknowledge the people who support you, and acknowledge the time that they give you to take care of yourself. Namaste.